The film is set in the waters of the Australian Ocean. The car was driven by a French couple named Rob and Pia. The trip to the pier where the two were on vacation. Upon arrival at the pier, Rib went to rent a fishing rod, while Pia was waiting for him on the outskirts of the sea. Two fishermen look fascinated by Pia's beautiful body wearing revealing clothes. After getting a fishing rod, they headed to the boat. Rob loves classic things so much that he chooses wooden boats. He didn't have the money to rent a better boat. Both sailed to the fishing point. And a little later the couple had not yet gotten the fish. There they discuss Rob's failed job dealing with rape cases. Pia doesn't accept this injustice. Suddenly their bait was successfully eaten by fish. When Rob manages to pull the fish, Pia is upset that Rob killed the fish right away. And a little later it seemed to the region that there would be a big storm. Pia suggests that they return, but Rob still wants to go down the mangroves there. And when they leave the boat, it's hard to start. After successfully starting the boat, only their cars were visible on the dock. That means no one else is there anymore. Then the couple arrived in the mangrove forest. The boat continued to sail into the forest and further from the pier. That's when Pia started to worry. A few moments later Rob approached the area and Pia realized that they had actually lost their way. Rob suspects that the channel will take them back to the bay, and a few moments later their boat increasingly difficult to pass through the channel. Revealed the place was a sewer. They didn't expect it until it brought them to that place. In the evening, Pia was upset that they were just circling in that place. Then he noticed a car light from a distance and was about to approach him. The driver was torturing someone. Then they decided to find another way. See the light from a distance where it is a farmhouse. Then he asked his wife to help him. It also rained in the region. They both called the owner of the house. Then Rob decides to look for her in the backyard while Pia is still waiting for Rob. Shortly afterwards, the car they saw was heading towards the house. Followed by Rob, who broke into the house through the back. Pia doubts their actions. But Rob suspected that the place was rarely visited by the owner, and they went to check the house and Rob would go look for the phone. While Pia was still waiting in the living room, found the kitchen of the house was very messy. Then he went out to the warehouse after finding a lot of strange plants there. The sound of the car continuing to drive was in front of the house. Their whereabouts are known to the owner of the house. Then came to them and Rob explained that he and his wife just stopped by the shelter. But Jimmy doesn't accept his house being broken into by a stranger. It is revealed that the place is an isolated island. Then Jimmy tells Brad to secure their father named Popey. Brad went to take care of his father, while the couple was directed into the house. Then inside, Jimmy is attracted to Pia, who he finds very sexy. Then Pia was surprised after being directed to hold the dog. And when he got to the kitchen, Rob asked to be taken to the nearest payphone, but Jimmy said that this place was not a city. Popey was taken upstairs. Then Jimmy suspects that they have found a marijuana garden there. They're trying to cover that up. Jimmy promised to drive them in the morning. Then he told the couple to take a shower in the back of the house. While taking a shower, Jimmy overhears the conversation of those who plan to escape and report the garden to the police. Then Jimmy took the couple's clothes. Rob realizes their clothes are gone, and he asks him to come inside. While in the kitchen, Brad drops food. When Rob asks for his clothes, Jimmy states that it is his fault that the couple broke into their house without permission and now want to be well served. But Rob asks Jimmy to wake up Popey. This makes Jimmy even more annoyed with Rob. Then he humbles the couple where Pia is ordered to make dinner. The couple also had to follow their orders. And a few moments later Pia made them dinner. The two men forced Pia to speak French. And Pia speaks French, telling them to find a way to escape. And when asked the meaning of Rob told me that it was the lyrics of the song. After that Rob was ordered to pour a drink. Then Jimmy wants to see Rob's wife's ass. Pia had to do that. Make Jimmy and Brad very fascinated to see the beauty of the curve of Pia's buttocks. When he finished cooking, Jimmy was upset because the dishes were charred. Since they have no more food, Jimmy orders Pia to kill the dog. Pia is unable to do so, but Jimmy threatens to execute the dog. Rob defended his wife. The dog was eventually executed by Pia. Then Jimmy calms the frightened Pia. And a few moments later, Jimmy praised Pia's cooking. Jimmy then asks Pia for a job. It turns out that Pa is an artist. Then Jimmy degrades Rob's profession, who is a lawyer. Before long, Popey yells at them from upstairs, where the two men are very scared if Popey wakes up. Then Pia begged to be given a place to rest. There Jimmy laughs at their sad ending to the holiday. And he took the couple into the barn. They were ordered to sleep in the warehouse, where the pet dog Jimmy will guard from the outside. And when the two men return, Rob and Pia prepare to run away. They both left that place. And on the run, Pia feels strange about their too easy escape. Then the couple finds the bodies tortured by Jimmy and Brad. Soon they were surrounded by the two men, and ordered to get in the car. Then Rob and Pia were taken back to the warehouse. Rob promised not to report on the marijuana garden there, and also offer money for them, but Jimmy didn't care. Then he told Pia to take off all her clothes. Brad also attacks Rob, who wants to rebel, and when the two men are about to rape Pia in the presence of her husband, Rob informs her that his wife is 2 months pregnant. Both don't care about it. Brad knocks Rob unconscious. Jimmy also managed to enjoy Pia's body with great pleasure. But when Brad wants to rape her too, suddenly the father comes. Brad was very upset because he was still not satisfied enjoying Pia's body. Poppy enters the warehouse and attacks Brad for making a scene. Then Jimmy told him why they were holding the couple. Because they had presumptuously inspected their marijuana garden. There, knowing that, Poppy says that she will not let go of Pia and her husband. And if the couple dares to fight back, Poppy's pet dog will eat Pia's body. Brad was scolded for not locking the marijuana warehouse. Then she accused Pia and her husband of being intruders who deliberately came to the place. Poppy orders Brad back to the house, where he will devise a plan for the couple before morning arrives. Then Poppy locked the couple in the warehouse. When at home, Poppy tortured her 2 children who were negligent in taking care of the marijuana garden. So he had to step in to deal with this mess. Brad asked about their next plan. While in the warehouse, Pia makes a device to support her husband's injured leg. Then Pia made a device for self-defense. Followed by Brad, who was looking for his dog and watching Pia, where Pia pretends to be sleeping. Shortly thereafter, Rob regained consciousness. Then asked if Pia was touched by the men. And Pia was forced to lie that she hadn't been touched. Pia has also prepared tools for self-defense. She thinks no one will save them, where he will fight the criminals. And a little later, Pia thought of a way to make a trap. He also uses his tools to make traps. In that place he dared to fight because he remembered the words of his father, who once said, "If you want to catch a mad dog, then you have to think like a dog." After that, Poppy's dog is heard from outside, where Brad is ordered to find him and kill Rob at the same time. But his wife was left to live. Noticing Brad's appearance, Pia turns off the lights and pretends to be asleep. Then when Brad got inside, he woke up Pia. When Brad is about to kill Pia, Pia instigates Brad, saying Brad is not being treated well as Poppy's son. But unfortunately that Brad is not affected by Pia's incitement. And when will be shot by Brad, Brad caught up with a trap set by Pia. And Brad had to die at Pia's hands. Moments later, Jimmy goes out looking for Brad, where he peered at the couple who were seen sleeping. Followed by Poppy's pet dog, who smelled Brad's blood. Pia realizes the existence of the dog who forced his way into the barn. Jimmy returns home after being called by Poppy. He was ordered to bring in Pia. Jimmy then went into the warehouse and came to the couple. And when going to bring Pia, she saw a roll of carpet on the floor. When Jimmy checks on him, he is distracted with Pia, who is about to run away. Then Jimmy brought Pia into the house. But before Pia will first Diane Donnie Pia lips colored lipstick, it makes Jimmy back lusting to see the beauty of Pia. Then Pia was ordered to go upstairs. Arriving upstairs, Pia went into Poppy's waiting room. Then Poppy reveals that Pia's appearance reminds Poppy of her past. There it is revealed that Poppy killed both his wives. After that, Pia was forced to go to bed, where Poppy prepares to enjoy Pia's body. After successfully enjoying the warmth of Pia's body, Poppy is exposed to a trap brought by Pia, and the commotion was heard by Jimmy. Then Pia ran away from the place. She fell downstairs to avoid Jimmy's shot. And upon arrival at the barn, she ordered her husband to hide, followed by Jimmy, who arrived at the warehouse. When Jimmy searches for the two, he must be trapped by Brad's body after opening the closet. Meanwhile, Pia and Rob exit the warehouse and lock Jimmy from the outside. They both got in the car but couldn't find the keys. He went into the house looking for the car keys. Meanwhile, Jimmy is still trapped inside the warehouse. On the other hand, Pia managed to find the car keys, and then she attacked Poppy, who managed to open the trap. When Poppy comes to the car, her pet dog attacks Poppy after smelling her blood. Followed by Jimmy, who managed to get out of the warehouse and was surprised to see the car, and Poppy, who was already dead. Jimmy prevents the couple from trying to escape. He also went to the warehouse to turn on the propeller ship. While Pia and Rob are still trying to escape, Jimmy's ship is trapped by Brad's body. And Pia, who realized that, immediately stepped on the gas to hit Jimmy. However, Jimmy managed to avoid a car collision, but the ship's propeller pointed towards Jimmy, which made him eventually killed by the ship's propeller. Pia and Jimmy were relieved that the couple had left the place. Pia kept it a secret that she had been raped by the three men. Rob never suspected that.